everyone. So I'm recording this to let everyone know I'm going to be doing a small series. Basically what it's going to be about is how people have to deal with their chronic illnesses and their chronic pain. For those who haven't paid attention, I have HS, hidradenitis suppurativa, PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, depression, anxiety, arthritis, and a bad back. And last year I had suffered from a blood clot, so they're still monitoring me for that. Basically what this is going to be is a few separate videos of what I have to do every day. And I'm hoping that some of it will apply to others and have them come out with their story and raise awareness of what's going on. I mean, I feel that I could sit here and explain till I'm blue in the face, but it's not ever going to click in people's heads what you really have to go through, because I've been finding I've had to sit my friends down a little bit more lately and explain my methods and why I do them and why I have to do them. So I'm going to give a little clip note of what I've had to deal with most of my life, just to give you a general idea of what I'm going to be covering during these videos. When I was a kid, I was always sick. Whenever someone had something, they even looked at me cross-eyed, I got it. So when I was down, I was down. When I wasn't sick, I was bouncing off the walls. I think the only time I did not bounce off the walls is when there was a Scooby-Doo marathon. Love Scooby-Doo. And my mom took full advantage of that because she'd take care of my hair. She couldn't get me to sit still for nothing once I was over whatever I had. And when I did get sick, I didn't just get over it right away. It would go into separate things. It would go into bronchitis and pneumonia, and as soon as everyone knew, it'd be 6 months and I'd still be sick or just getting over it and would get sick again. So that was always fun. As for me being active when I was little, like I said, I bounced off the walls, I climbed, I hiked, I ran, I miss running, I swam. I was always on my swing set. While we were camping, we take 5-mile walks, and within the next few minutes, I was up and walking again after that break. It was just, I loved it. I loved it. I was just a little daredevil. And then when my hip, around 11 and a half, 12, because it fell out in February of '99, that all stopped. No one knew what was going on with me, and they just assumed it was growing pains, which kind of is right. It was a growing pain in my ass for 16 years. Yeah. So I wasn't able to be active. I gained weight, and of course the doctors, all they saw was this chubby little girl that, you know, was just complaining about her whole body hurting, because by the time I did complain, I've never been a complainer, it was too late. I couldn't pinpoint the pain. The most pain I had ever had was a bruised nose, a black eye, you know, scraped knee, you know, just the minor stuff. I've never broken a bone. And it fell completely out, had to be pinned back in a weird position, and I had to walk a certain way for 16 years. So instead of my feet being like this, it was turned out like this, and then by the time I had my hip replacement surgery last year, I could turn my leg all the way around. That was a cool party trick for when people stared at me for no reason. But I don't do that now. I can't do that now. And I don't want to do that now, because I don't ever want to see a surgery table again, but okay, so 12 with my hip, that's covered. 13 was depression. I dealt with it silently by myself for years. 18 was really rough. And then just last year, after everything just came down, I gave up and I sought help, and I'm now on antidepressants. 14 is when my PCOS hit, and then 15 is when my HS hit. And by 15, I was starting to slow down more because of hip pain and back pain. I've just dealt with these, dealt with these all my life. And it's changed me. It changes the way you think, the way you have to do things. You have to plan things every step of the way. Because if you don't, you run out of energy, you get sick. My life revolves around antidepressants, anti-anxiety pills, because my anxiety is through the roof because of these two conditions of PCOS and HS. So during these videos, I'm going to be covering all of this. I'm going to be covering what I have to do, how I shop for supplies, how I pick up my clothes, what I can wear, what I can't wear, and packing up with me. And if someone is more interested, though I'm extremely nervous, I will do a get ready with me video. But I'm extremely nervous about that one. Because I've worked all my life, from my teens till now, to hide this. This is 2 layers of foundation. And what I call PCOS is my werewolf issue because I'm furry. Along the way I'll be sharing my tricks and tips and explaining everything of what a person who has multiple conditions go through. And it may not be the exact same story, but it will be similar. And I hope that this starts something. Get this out there. I mean, like the lady that wrote the spoon theory, that covered it. Even though it was a story that the lady had lupus, it applies to all chronic illnesses. It applies to HS. It applies to chronic pain. It applies to PCOS and anxiety. And I'm just hoping this will encourage others to put this out there, raise awareness, and maybe explain and show people what we have to go through. Show them instead of talk about it, because talking about it obviously is not clicking. I'll give a quick example and then I'll end this because this is getting up to like 9 minutes, and I do apologize for rambling. I'm not good on video. My arms is where my HS first appeared, and I thought it was because I had the wrong bra size and it rubbed me raw, and it took years and years for those to heal. Finally, they're in remission. Yes, with HS there is chance of remission. They may be long periods, though that is rare, or there may be short periods in a certain area. For those who just find this and don't know jack about HS, it's kind of like an autoimmune. It's an orphan disease. Well, I don't want to use disease because you can't contract this. A condition. Condition fits a lot better. So you get boil-like sores that tend to tunnel. They hurt like hell. And they almost never heal. And if they heal, it's a miracle. Some involve surgical treatment, where the doctor has to go in and clear out the sinus tract and get rid of it, and pack it, and heal it slowly. I've had one of those surgeries, and that was the luckier ones. I haven't had to do a skin graft or any multiple surgeries. I am stage 2, by the way. There are 3 stages. 3rd being the worst ever, and I've seen some cases of that, and oh my god, I don't know how they do it. I don't. It just breaks my heart. So, excuse me. I'm getting over something. So my arms went into remission. I like to keep them that way, but there's one on my right side that keeps wanting to come up, and I can always tell when my underarm starts hurting, and I can feel one of the nodules filling up. So what I do is I try and not shave, not use any products on there, like deodorant. Deodorant I'll sparingly use, like, but keep it away from the site. And when I was swimming with one of my friends, I'll call him Kitty. It is his nickname, but I'm not gonna out names at all. You know, you'll hear nicknames. And I went to go reach up and catch a ball or something because it was one of my decent days, so I could frolic a little bit. And he noticed, he's like, "Hey babe, did you forget to shave your arm? You know, your underarm?" I'm like, no, I didn't. He's like, okay. And I was like, I have a sore starting and I can't shave. Anything that will aggravate it, I will not do, because I don't want the sores back under my arms. For me, the party's downstairs. Yes, lady bits, that's fun, and I'll go into that detail in another video. But I just had to sit him down, and I had to sit him down and explain, like, some days are good days, some days are bad days. Some days you're going to be picking my ass off the floor, and some days you're going to have to try and keep up with me. It varies from day to day. It's unpredictable. You know, I can start out feeling okay, and then by whatever midst of doing, I need to sit down. I need to stop. I need to force myself to stop. Because my brain tells me I can still lift 200 pounds. When I was 12, quick backstory and I'll shut up. My mom and I used to lift weights. She'd come home, she'd be frustrated, she had a bad day, and her outlet was lifting weights. And I'd go out with her, and, you know, kid thing, monkey see, monkey do. And I'd start lifting weights with her, and she'd make sure I was safe. You know, she'd make sure it wasn't anything that I couldn't handle. And by the time I was 12, I could lift my granddad and do a fireman's carry, and he was 230 pounds. You know, I'm used to being able to do everything, to run, to not be exhausted. And these conditions, having multiple conditions, one is a handful, multiple is hell. Because you don't know which one's causing you to feel like crap. So, like I said, I'm going to cover all of that in this video series, and if there's enough comments and likes, I will do a get ready with me video. And I'm just really scared about that one because I've already been called names because of this. I've been asked if I was trans several times. I was asked by a professional nurse, if I had gender reassignment surgery. So I'm just dreading the worst out of the comments. But anyways, I'm shutting up. Just letting everyone know I'm going to do a quick video series. The pack up with me one's probably going to be soon because I'm heading off to a friend's who lives like an hour and 30 away from me. And I'm going to spend the weekend there. And I do that like every other weekend. You know, go up there, blow off some steam, hang. And I'll also show you little distractions and outlets that I use. Because I can't lift weights. I can't punch a bag. Certainly can't go out and start a brawl. I used to have a mean left hook. Until I injured my left arm 3 times. And, you know, just watch. See what's up. Bye, everyone.